look, there's nothing wrong with like fart and willy joke, man.
No way, man. It's the best form of humour.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right,
Oh God. Hey,
oh,
it's Christmas.
yay! Crimbo
Yeah,
time.
I know.
Mistletoe
I'm
and
tired.
wine. Da da da
Oh
da
God.
da
Do you know
da
what?
da da.
Cliff Richard's gonna come out that he was a paedophile as well, isn't it?
I thought he got cleared.
Ah, but did
He,
he really?
he could be a turbo nonce for all I know. Who cares, you
Oh,
know?
bonons.
Anyway, we ain't here to talk about Cliff Richard. We're here to talk
We're here to
about
talk about pedos.
retro video games.
Yes.
And since it's a
Once again,
Crimbo festive edition, once
I
a...
know. I've actually got a beer as well for it.
Whoa! I'm
Whoa.
dying too much to have a beer, so I've got water. I've got H2O from
Yeah.
tonight. So, because it is a Christmas edition, I messaged you today to say, let's do a special episode as opposed
Let's
to...
do something a wee bit different. I know.
Yeah, just because it's Christmas, and we can talk about Mortal Kombat next week.
Yeah, because all I've been saying all week is Mortal Kombat.
It's amazing. Mortal Kombat 11 is amazing, isn't it? It's so
But yeah,
good.
we'll do a nice special Christmassy episode.
So festive. There's going to be so much Christmas talk in this Christmas episode.
There's going to be no Christmas talk.
Have you not got James Pond 2 in your Mega Drive list?
If I was going to put it in as in like the worst.
Whoa! You wash your mouth out with soap and water. James Pond 2 was great.
Well, let's get into it then.
Cake, Hammer, Earth, Apple, Tap. Damn right, James Pond 2.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, but if you played the game, you might do. Cake, Hammer, Earth, Apple, Tap. It's the cheat code. It's the cheat code for James Bond 2. It gives you invincibility.
Oh, God.
It spells out cheat. Cake, hammer, earth, apple, tap. Cheat.
Cheat.
Whoa,
That's actually quite.
That blew my mind when I was a child. Right, so we have picked.
Facts.
Have you got worst games as well?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
I mean, I say worst games. It's like games that I've played that I've not liked, not necessarily the worst game.
Yeah, that's what I like. I don't like to say worst, but the ones that disappointed you or you expected more of, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we have decided on our best and worst NES and SNES games, Sega Mega Drive game, Nintendo Game Boy game.
No, Game Boy game, is it like literally the old Game Boy?
Anything.
Or like,
I've gone original Game Boy, but you can go whatever.
That's fine, because I have two.
Okay, that's fine. Nintendo 64 and PlayStation. I can't wait to talk about PlayStation, and you will get it when we get to PlayStation. It'll be funny.
Okay.
So we will start. I believe I'm in order. Is the Game Boy older than the Mega Drive?
God, Game Boy was...
I think the Game Boy is older than I think it is.
I'm sure it's 89.
Japan, yeah, 1989.
Mate, see, I remember absolutely sweet FA about if Steph asked me to do something, I will not remember it. But if you tell me a video game console, I will get it.
You know the score. So we got it in 1990. America and Japan got it in 89. Sega Mega Drive must be 91 or 92, mustn't it?
92.
Oh, 1990.
What?
PAL 1990. Yeah.
What the hell?
The Japs got it in 88. American 89. Korean 1990.
There you go. That's something new.
Anyway,
but we'll do NES anyway first.
Yeah, NES is obviously first.
That was held before all of them.
And then we'll go to Mega Drive because it's sort of the competitor to the SNES, isn't it? So
yeah,
right.
We will do the NES.
Since you are NES boy, NES Boy 4000.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't really NES boy, but I didn't have one.
In comparison with us two, you're more NES boy than me.
Yeah. So, I didn't really have one as a kid. Like I kind of had one like towards the end. And didn't actually get that many games.
Yep.
But the best game for me, Super Mario Brothers.
Ooh, Uno,
Controversial, yeah. Number one.
isn't
I,
it?
I know numbers. I know everyone thinks that number three is the
Three,
best,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it is viewed generally as the best. But for me, like I didn't have three on the NES. I got three and Mario All Stars on the SNES.
yeah.
So that was my first proper like play of three. But for me, like Super Mario Brothers, I have the most fondest memories of that.
Mm.
You know, my dad would take me to like the snooker halls and stuff when he used to play professionally, and he used to go and practice twice a week.
Is this your
And in
dad,
the
John
snooker hall,
Lennon?
yes, my
Oh.
dad, my real dad, not my adopted dad. John
Okay,
Lennon.
okay.
But so he would take me with him to what so we could practice, and they had a arcade cabinet, Super Mario Brothers,
Happy days.
and I would sit because my dad was like best friends with the guy that ran it, so you know he just basically flipped the switch inside, so I would literally have like unlimited lives.
Nice.
I would sit and play Super Mario Brothers. Like it was great, and then when I got the NES, eventually I got the Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so like Super Mario Bros. Amazing, Duck Hunt infuriating. Oh,
Yeah, I've
it's
never actually
infuriating.
played Duck Hunt, so I know obviously what it is. And you need the gun with it, don't you? Pew,
You
pew,
need the
pew.
zapper.
The zapper,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. And the thing is, as well, it's like you could tell she like stay like 3 feet away from the screen or whatever to aim and that.
Yeah.
But it was just
It's
I ended up
random.
just putting the thing. I had to put the gun to the screen. Literally just move it on the screen
Yeah.
to zap it because I was so bad at it. But fact, I've never actually beat Super Mario Brothers.
Ooh.
I've got to 8-4, so I've got to the last level.
Oh,
I
is that the
never
last
got through
level?
it. Yeah, I got to the last level and never got to Bowser. Never
Oh,
got to him.
wow.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
you need to get on that. Get on the streams on GAC,
I know,
and we
I know.
smash Super
It's one
Mario
of them
Brothers.
things. Yeah, and it's like one of the things I want to do before I die is beat Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Super Mario
That's
Brothers.
my best game.
You can't fail with that, I guess, can you?
No.
So I did NES and SNES together, but I can I've got like honorable mentions, and a NES game is an honorable mention, and only because I played it this year and finished it. Castlevania.
Castlevania. Yeah,
It's a cool
so
game. It's still fun.
it is a bloody good game.
It's
It is a
hard.
Oh, aye.
It's really hard.
Do you know the thing with Castlevania though? Music.
Cool music.
For an NES game, the music fucking rocks. Like it's such a good music. Such good music. Yeah.
I just don't
I've
really
played it.
have. I don't have like a broad scale of NES games that I've played. So
No, the thing is, like, neither have I actually. I mean, off the top of my head, I remember having Super Mario Bros. The Duck Hunt. I remember having the WWF. I want to say WrestleMania.
yeah, I think WrestleMania is the one that's kind of Mortal Kombat style.
No, that's the arcade one. That's on the
Oh.
SNES. This was like an isometric ring,
Right.
and you basically had like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. I can't even remember who else was in it, but it was literally like, it was like an isometric ring, and you would, and it was impossible. It was an absolutely impossible game.
Fair
So
enough.
I had that, and maybe I'm trying to think if I had a couple. I'm sure I had a couple. I think I had. I can't remember. Is it Rad Racer? I can't remember. It's a racing
Maybe.
game. It was a racing game anyway with the car. And I had that, and like that's about as much as I had. Because like not long after I got that, because I mean I inherited my NES off my one of my cousins. So they basically gave me their NES when they got a SNES.
Yeah.
And then for Christmas, like the following Christmas, I ended up having a SNES. So like my NES sort of history and thingy was very small.
Yeah.
So
Very brief.
it was brief, but I mean, some worse games if you want them. Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters is crap. My only like knowledge of crap games is from the Angry Video Game Nerd, basically.
Ghostbusters was horrible.
Yeah, it looks
Like
trash.
I was so excited to play it, and it's just the way.
The ultimate
Absolute.
letdown.
Oh, it was because like you see the potential was amazing, and there's been other Ghostbuster games. There's a Ghostbusters one that's on the Mega Drive. I think it's
Supposed
like
to
a
be quite good,
Japan only
that,
one,
isn't
which It's amazing. It's
Mm.
so good. And it's like you could have done something like that. Yeah, fair enough. NES and Mega Drive have totally different graphics, like, but I mean, you could have done something similar
Still, yeah,
rather than you've got a 5x5 grid and you've got to drive your car and you to the place and you've got to drive and the car driving section's horrible and if you don't buy the right items, it's just even if you buy the right items, it's an absolute grind.
so
And there's a podcast that
it's not a
I
fun
yeah
video game then.
no. I mean, there's a guy that I listened to that he completed as a kid, and then he played it a couple of years ago, and had to play it. He wanted to play it and finish it again, and it took him like 4 hours,
Mm.
just grinding for 4 hours just to get enough money
Yeah.
to get like the item that you need to get through the end. And it's just I can't. Yeah.
Is that the
So that's
numero uno worst NES game for you?
oh, I hated it.
Mm.
I hated it. And there's the Simpson games. See,
Yeah,
like
most
Simpsons.
of them are trash. Yeah.
Oh, they're horrendous. Like Bart's Nightmare, I think it
Yeah.
is. It's like, oh no, See, I mean, Simpsons was like that was in the sort of late 80s, early 90s. Simpsons was like the thing that was like
Hmm.
and everyone wanted to. Oh, it was. And then you get a game like that, and it's just trash game, and But then majority of the next games were trash though. That's
Yeah,
the thing. All these publishers could put out shite.
there was a ridiculous amount of NES games just in general. So,
Mm.
and probably
Yeah.
most of them didn't know how to actually manufacture a video game back then.
No.
It's probably quite an
Yeah.
easy thing to do, just to put something on a cartridge and just be like, there you go, game.
Yeah.
What's
I mean,
that?
look at Simpsons, the RoboCop, Terminator.
Yeah,
You just whack a picture on the cover, and you sell it, and it's a shite.
That Action 52 piece of shit as well. That's always the worst thing in the world when you've got one game, one cartridge that is filled with more games.
Yeah.
That's not good.
You know they're going to be bad.
That is literally quantity over quality, big time.
Yeah. And there's still loads of things that come out, like like the control pads that you can plug into the TV.
Yeah.
And they're just full of
40 games in one. 40 pieces of shit in one.
Mm-hmm.
Or you might get one good game that's like passable.
Aye, but it controls so bad that it's just not playable.
There's going to be
anyway.
something crap about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a worse NES game, to be honest. I just agree with what you say because I've heard of, your Ghostbusters and all that.
No, I know.
But
and that's the thing for a games console that essentially saved the video game industry, didn't it? So I mean that's why I made that video when we were in college about it. The video game crash, because without that, if the NES failed, then we wouldn't be where we are now as such. I mean, or it would have taken a lot longer.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have to give it its props that it's one of the it's a good console. But
because its wins were big wins. To be fair, your Super Mario and all that, and Metroid, they were take away all the trash, you've still got the odd little gold nugget in there.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, you've probably got 30, 50 absolute gems.
Oh yeah, rock solid games
in the library, out of like 1,000 odd games. But yeah.
So the two
hit me with your NES ones.
Two recommended. Two recommended NES. What did you say again? Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
And what did I say? Castlevania. They're worth playing.
Oh, Mega Man 2.
I've never really played the Mega Man, so I can't really.
Mega Man 1's fucking hard. But Mega Man 2 is something else.
Yeah.
But again, I never played Mega Man as a kid. I only played Mega Man Switch when the Switch came out. It's a Mega Man collection on that. That's where I played it.
There you go.
And there you go. Yeah.
Get on the Switch and get playing Mega Mans.
Yeah.
Right, SNES.
Right.
Super
My
Nintendo
baby.
Entertainment System.
My baby.
Next baby.
Hit me with your best game.
You want my best game for the SNES?
Go on.
It's something we very recently talked about.
Is it Embryo Joe?
No, it's not.
Oh,
no.
What?
It's not even a contender for best Mega Drive game for me. It's still fun though. It's Super Metroid, man. Super Metroid.
Whoa.
Super Metroid best SNES game.
I told you it's an amazing game.
You did tell me it was an amazing game. It is an amazing game.
Now you just need to do Link to the Past.
I've tried it though. It's really not my sort of thing.
Yo, you watch your tongue.
We're talking about Super
You
Metroid.
watch your tongue.
But we're not going to talk about Super Metroid much because we've just literally done an episode and I've just edited it today because I might have forgot last week. But I've had so much stuff going on and I'm
You're a
dying.
working man at Christmas.
I am.
That's what it is.
It's not like I got a day off tomorrow because of the lurgy and everything. But you know, it means I actually get to edit this tomorrow, which would be nice. But yeah, Super Metroid. Yeah, just go watch her as a video. It's an hour long.
I watched it twice.
Well, there you go. So what more do I need to say about Super Metroid? It's an amazing game.
No, I agree. It is an amazing game.
It's a good, challenging game, and for the scope of it, the size of it, and everything for a game in 1994. Oh, look! Someone wants to offer a promotion of my channel.
Oh, good. Hello.
Oh,
what are they promoting?
I can't even get it up in the chat. Send it again, Cino11un.
Ooh.
Oh, look!
I want to get on this.
What amazing offers!
Oh,
you can offer promotion for my channel, viewers, followers, chat bots. Price is lower than any competitor. That's impressive.
Really?
They're incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel.
And vegan.
Yeah, and it's all in my hands.
What?
All I have to do is go to dogehype.com. Go there, people. Go get their good offers. Anyway, you won't see that on YouTube. You won't see that on the YouTube video, but yeah, Super Metroid is my best SNES game, and there's a whole video explaining why.
That's not a bad game by any means. So, I mean, I'm gonna throw in 3.
Ooh, God, he can't even pick one. He's got 3.
Oh, I know.
Go on, then.
Right, Link to the Past, easy.
Yes, I would have guessed that.
Here we go.
Hello.
The dinosaur. Yeah. Miles stole the dinosaur from the nursery. Well, he didn't steal the dinosaur. They tried to take it off him. And he gave him the petted lip. He gave him the sad face. And the woman was like, I can't take it off him. You can take it home with him. It's like, you'll never see that fucking thing again.
I was going to say, it always happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Poor Dino.
So Link to the Past, Zelda. Okay.
Yes, of course.
The top echelon of my all-time favorite games. Love it, absolutely love it, and
you do.
There's, I don't think, not just me, but I don't think there's any.
I didn't hear that. The whisper's too quiet.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that game.
Ooh,
nothing wrong with that game.
Perfection.
Nothing. It's beautiful. Love it.
I won't talk about it.
And it was a hill I will die on.
Okay.
So, and then
I found it boring.
It's not boring. How is it boring? Save the princess.
Sod the princess.
The bad guys.
Sod the princess. Link's gay. He didn't care.
Wow. There's only one sword he likes. That's the pink sword. Right, and then I'm gonna throw these 2 here. Right, literally in my top 3 games of all time.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country.
Ooh.
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Ooh. If you had to pick one of them, though.
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Ooh. I've still not played either of them.
We'll do the trilogy at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But easily the 2 of them are my top 3 games of all time.
I will do definitely the first one at some point, and I may even stream it, and then we can talk about the first one. And if I enjoy it enough, I'll just play the others as well.
Well, the second one's better than the first. And I find with Donkey Kong Country is that it's a fair game. Like, there's no deep deaths or anything like that. If you die, it's because you're not good enough.
Fair enough.
It's one of them games where the whole game, to me, it's a fair game. And if you die, it's your fault. And you go and you just have to get better to progress. And I think it's an absolutely beautiful, get good scrub. I think it's a beautiful game, and visually it's stunning. It's absolutely a stunning game for something on the SNES. Do you know what I mean?
It still looks quite good now, to be fair.
Oh God, yeah. No, it's better than some games that come out today. Do you know what I mean? So and there's that, and then the music. The music is absolutely phenomenal.
Top tier.
Oh, see, I had my you see my Spotify Wrapped thing.
Oh no.
Yeah,
What did you have?
yeah. Donkey Kong Country.
Was that top?
Lo-fi Donkey Kong Country remixes. It says I've streamed something like, I don't know, was it like 800 hours?
Yeah.
Because I have it on when I'm working. It's on all the time.
All right, fair enough.
I love the music so much. There's only 2 songs in my top 3 that weren't mine. The rest of the thing is all me, and the 2 songs is, what was it? I'm Still Standing
Okay.
because of Flynn, because it's on Sing. He loves Sing.
Right.
And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie theme.
Nice.
They're played because he knows how to ask Alexa for them.
Yeah.
So when I'm at work and I'm listening to my thingy, Alexa will just it'll just stop. Spotify will just stop, and he's listening to it in the house because he's asking Alexa to play it.
Oh no, bless him.
Yeah, but that's the Donkey Kong music. I think is just some of the best game music ever. Thinking so, you do need to play it.
Then that's the thing. I know the music's good in it, even though I can't hear a song from the game now because I've not played it. But I know if I played the game, I would recognize some of the music from just because it's so popular.
Yeah.
I know I would have heard it somewhere in the past. There's a reason for it.
Yeah.
But no, I get that.
Mm-hmm. So that's on your list of games to play.
Yeah. So you've gone Donkey Kong Countries 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda Link to the Past, obviously, because it's you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I've gone Super Metroid because,
again,
my knowledge of SNES is as good as my NES one, to be honest. But phenomenal game. Have you got a worst SNES game?
I've got 2.
Ooh.
Right. Pitfall.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Pitfall?
I've heard of Pitfall. My uncle had a version on the PC. You're probably talking early 2000, probably about 2000, on Windows 98 or something like that. There was a version of Pitfall on his computer. It was probably a DOS game, piece of crap. It was horrible.
Yeah, well, I know there's
a Pitfall and a Super Pitfall on the Nintendo. So
yeah, well, Pitfall is just horrible. It looks like Mortal Kombat. You think it's going to be amazing, and it is absolutely all kinds of rubbish. It's just abysmal. Abysmal is the only word.
Is there a big expectation for a game called Pitfall though?
Well, yeah, because that was the fight. It was that new sort of fighting sort of style game, and I'm sure it was in the arcades, and everyone, it had such a high pedigree. It's like one of the best played games, sure, in arcades. And then when it got ported, it was literally just absolute dire game. And it's like, and there's that, and then there's Batman Forever, again. In that sort of same vein, like Mortal Kombat graphics, where they look like people, but like Batman Forever was just,
That was my worst game.
It's horrible.
And again, I've not played it, but I've seen it enough to know that that's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
And what makes it worse is that you've messed up Batman.
That is the thing, yeah.
How on God's green earth do you mess up Batman?
I know.
But it seemed like a case of trying too much.
You know what? I think it's like, were they even playing the game? Do you know when they're making it?
There was no testing.
Were they playing the game? Because surely someone must have sat there and gone, "This isn't playable."
I'm having so much fun with this Batman game.
Right, well, I mean, there's the bit. I'm sure there's a thing where you have to fire something from utility belt to help you get through a ceiling.
And it looks like it shoots from his crotch.
Yeah, and you've got to press up and select to do it. Yeah. And it's like, why would you even put that in? Why can't you just let him jump up it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just yeah. I can't.
Good game.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well,
I'm so angry.
No, but that is literally possibly actually one of the worst games. It's not like we were disappointed in it.
It's scraping the bottom of the barrel of being called a game.
Yeah, that's an actual trash game. Google it if people don't have a SNES or anything. Batman Forever. I think it's the same all around on all the ports and everything. I think it is just a piece of crap game, isn't it?
It's one of the ones that you get the rights to the franchise, and you spend the least amount of money because you know that the name of the game is going to make it sell.
Yeah.
So it's the most minimum of effort for the highest amount of money back, and that is literally just yeah. That's it.
Avoid Batman Forever, and
no, get an emulator, find the ROM, play it,
and then destroy it.
Agree with us that it's so bad. Delete the ROM, go into the corner of a room and cry.
Yeah.
And think, why did I listen to Nick and Liam?
Yeah, why did I waste my 4 minutes playing this piece of shit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway.
Oh, God. Right, Mega Drive boy, let's go.
I can start talking about games now.
Yay!
Yay! My favourite Mega Drive game
is
not
Sonic 3.
No, Sonic 3.
Sonic Knuckles?
I was this close to saying Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh.
But I'm not, because for it to be the superior best game ever, you need to attach Sonic 3 into the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, the top loader. Because when you've got Sonic 3 and Knuckles...
Is that the noise that it makes when you put it in?
Definitely. But when you've got Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that is, all in all, the best game of all time. But as much as I love Sonic and Knuckles, I don't think I can actually put it ahead of Streets of Rage 2. That is the best Mega Drive game ever made.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Axel Stone is underneath me down there because he is top dog when it comes to Mega Drive video games. Streets of Rage 1 is average and probably a contender for worst game on the Mega Drive. I think the first one is trash.
I mean, Golden Axe is...
We haven't got there yet, but good hints for what my worst game is. But Streets of Rage 2 is talking of amazing video game soundtracks. It is arguably one of, if not the best for me. Very
that is good.
Iconic stage tracks for all of them. Like if any one of them came on now, I could tell you that's stage 3. That's this one, because I'm sad. But I played this game so much.
That's to your love of the game.
It is. I've played this since I was a little sprog, and I still play it now because it's such an easy game to pick up and play. It's so much fun. You got 4 characters to choose from, so it's a slightly different game each time you play. Play it coops like we've done loads of times in the past.
We do coops, yeah. We do
it's
coops.
It's so much fun to coops. I know, it's so much fun. How many times have we put it up on YouTube? No, 5 separate times of us just playing Streets of Rage 2. It's so good. And you need to get Streets of Rage 4 because that is phenomenal as well.
Oh, well, it's on Xbox Game Live Pass, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to download it on the Game Pass then. If you can get it on Game Pass, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And the Horde mode on it is Horde mode, whatever your survival mode, it's just loads of fun. And that is my best Mega Drive game. Love Sonic and Knuckles, but...
Okay, no, that's fair. I would totally agree with you with that. I would totally agree with you. I mean, I've got 3. Well, I mean, I've got one. Sonic 2.
Yeah.
So, Sonic 2. I love Sonic 2. Sonic 2 is amazing to me.
Sonic 2.
Again, never completed Sonic 2.
What?
Never completed it. I always get stuck in a big bloody egg robot.
I think I've only completed it about 80 times. But I'm sad.
I mean, I've got Supersonic like a couple of times, but so I mean, it's like I've done that, but I never was able to defeat Eggman. I didn't even know what.
It was really
I didn't even know where to hit him, to be honest.
You've got to wait for him to. You can only do it when he goes up, and then you get the little target thing. So you've got to wait for him to drop, and then his belly comes down, and you hit him in his belly when he comes down.
Oh, I'm standing behind his arse and hitting him up the arse.
Oh, he's got spiky fingers, so you've got to wait.
I know that's the thing. That's why I always went to behind it because every time the fingers would get me.
No, you'd always have to wait for him to come down. He leans down, and you can jump over his spiky fingers.
No, exactly.
Come to me for the Sonic Pro tips, bro.
Yeah, no, that's
Come
it.
on.
I should. Yeah, I mean, how long have we been friends? Like, 12 years or
I
whatever it is
know,
now.
yeah. Oh,
Fuck. I
maths.
never asked you, but yeah. So there's that. And obviously, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, the same greatest Mega Drive game of all time.
Oh.
Go back and watch because it is.
Oh,
Everyone will agree with me.
I don't know
And
if
then
we've not talked about
also,
Streets of Rage 2 properly yet.
nope. And then Outrun.
Outrun's good. Outrun's good.
I love Outrun.
I think I'm
I
more Outrun 2. I remember playing more. Is it Outrun? No, Road Rash I'm thinking of.
I love Road Rash. Road Rash on the PC was amazing.
Road Rash is awesome.
I
I think that was my dad's favourite.
Road Rash on the Mega Drive,
Well,
not so amazing.
it's alright.
It's fine. As a concept, Road Rash is fine. It's amazing. It is actually a really good.
I'm surprised they've not sort of delved into like a remaster of.
Oh, there was that
do something
game that
similar.
there was a Road Rage or something. That was like it wasn't done by them, but it's pretty much
fairly
it's-
recent.
Yeah, well, I'd say
Yeah.
fairly recent. I think the beta was like 10 years ago. Or
Oh, was
something
it?
like that.
Oh God, I don't know.
I bought it on Steam. I think it was like £4 or something to get the beta, and then obviously
Nice.
once the game came out, you got it. Played it with the beta, and it was fine. And then I've never played it since. I don't even know what the actual game's like. But
Oh, no.
it's the same sort of vein. Do you know what I mean? But Outrun, I would. I just love the music in Outrun. I just love just driving, just the courses.
I think I did play a little bit of it when I sorted out the Xbox with all the retro games. I kind of remember jumping on Outrun for a bit.
Yeah. I used to actually listen to Radio Sega, and you could go on the website and you could select the songs that would play on the playlist because it was like an internet radio thing. And I would always select the Outrun game with music because I knew it would be like a half an hour sort of like playlist. You could select like 5 or 6 songs, and they were the extended remixes of these ones. And I'd listen to the whole thing just whilst I was going to sleep at night because I love the music so much. So.
I forgot. Man's got facts.
I know. What are you writing in the chat? Don't listen to Nick. Weast you pie hole, you.
Hey, facts.
Right, facts. Let's go. Wiki Slim Shady.
In the US version of Streets of Rage 2,
Yes.
Blaze's flying kick pose was altered to censor her underwear.
What?
Her knickers were on display in, I take it, the
You
Japanese
see them
version.
Japanese and dirty knickers, I tell you.
But the Yanks were like, no, we don't want no knickers on our game, so
I
censor
don't
it,
want no
please.
nicotine nicks.
Yeah, but you notice the drastic difference in the Japanese and American European version of any Streets of Rage game, because like I would say, do not play Streets of Rage 3. It is inferior to Bare Knuckle 3. If you want to play the third one, play Bare Knuckle 3. It is so much better. They've tried adding story
Why
to
are
it.
they so different?
Because the Japanese just don't care, do they? They want the first boss, the first sub boss of Bare Knuckle 3 is like this leather wearing gay man who's like he's over the top gay as well, the way they animated him and stuff. And in the American version, and I take it the European one, they just got rid of him. He's not even in it.
The game.
Yeah, they brought back Shiva from the sub final boss of Streets of Rage 2. They bring him in. You fight him not long after as well, but he's driving the boat that this gay man jumps out of in the Japanese one. So they just replace the characters. But like it's just little things like that, and all the women in the Japanese one are a bit more scantily clad and all that, showing more nipples than the Americans like to show.
So you want the Dirty Perv game, yeah?
Yeah. But it is like, without me sounding like a pervo,
Bare Knuckles 3. Yeah.
It is the superior version of the game.
Yeah, you'll have bare knuckles at the end of it, yeah?
Oh yeah, damn right.
All right.
Fat facts.
Facts.
Also, I want to give honourable mention to NHL 94, the greatest sports game of all time.
Yeah. We'll add that on. Definitely.
The NHL hockey games on the Mega Drive are the best sports games.
They are actually the better. I will 100% agree with you. They are the better ones.
Sod your FIFA. Sod everything. FIFA sucks. NHL 94 is the boy. Worst game is Golden Axe.
Do you know what? Actually, no, Golden Axe. Yeah,
that
definitely is a bad game. But I mean, I've also put down that Toe Jam and Earl.
I've never played it. So
I never played it when as a kid. But like when I was a friend of mine was like, you know, when the Switch had like you had your eShop on the Switch, and they would do like games or whatever, and it's like you couldn't. Because of Nintendo's stupid, aren't they? You know, you had to spend like a £10 and you get like so many points or whatever like that.
All right.
And when I was living in Ireland, you know, didn't have the best disposable income. So like if I was paying for a game, do you know what I mean? I was making sure I was getting a good game. And my pal was like, "Oh, Toe Jam and Earl's amazing. You should play it. You know, get it." And I looked at it, and I think it worked out something like £6 or £7 for a Mega Drive game on the Switch. And I was like, I don't really think so. And then he convinced me, and I downloaded it, and I played it for about an hour, and I was like, I have just wasted this money on this game. You know, I see all the time that it's like, you know, the class is like one of the best games on Mega Drive, and like it looks amazing, but like the music is crap. It's like some funky like, you know, and it's just like, yeah, it's not that kind of music. I don't think and. I don't even get the concept of the game. You've got to go and save the people and take them back to a rocket ship. I don't know. I was just, I've never liked it. Never done it. I wasted money and I hate it. So there you go. I hate it.
Fair enough.
Then Echo the Dolphin.
Ooh, worst.
Oh, I hate Echo the Dolphin.
Again, I've never played it, but I do want to.
Oh, but I've only played it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the guy that who made this game, like what he was not necessarily what he was taking.
I was going to say he's probably sniffing something.
Mate, he was probably like sitting behind a fucking buzz exhaust, you know, and sniffing up the diesel fumes or something. But it's just like it's just a stupid. Like Echo doesn't like move, like properly, and Your hit detection is such bad hit detection. You've got to try and like hit enemies with your snout, which is like the smallest part of it. And if you hit them with anywhere else, they damage you. So like that's just daft. And then you've also got to like fucking breathe.
Yeah.
So you go down in the caverns. O2, right, but you're playing a video game. You shouldn't have to worry about fucking O2. I just shouldn't have to like swim all the way back up to the top. Into the top of the ocean to breathe some air.
It's not like he's a fish or anything. It's not like he's a fish or anything.
Well, he's a mammal, isn't he? But I mean, still, it's a video game. I shouldn't have to be looking at my fucking O2 meter like I'm going to suffocate, you know what I mean? And the worst thing is, like, if you get so far down the cavern and then there's no air bubbles that you can see, you have to go all the way back to the fucking surface to breathe air, to go all the way back down, and all the enemies you just fucking killed have all spawned back. And it's just like, oh, I'm infuriated. And like, I can't even do the first level. Level.
I've heard it's a pretty tough game. I've heard.
Yeah, it is. And like, and I mean, I've seen people play through it, and like, it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder as the game goes on.
Yeah, I quite like that about it though. It's just a bit batty.
Oh, it's not bad. It's fucking stupid. You're fucking going into space.
Yeah, man. He kills the xenomorph at the end.
Exactly. Like, fuck. And then they even made the sequel. The sequel should be on here as well. Worst game of all time. It's the fucking worst game ever.
Hey, I'm going to stream it one day and I will give my honest opinion of it.
Mate, you stream it.
You need to give me a list. Give me a list of retro games.
All these worst games.
Oh my god, he's got a note. Right, so avoid Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, Toe Jam and Earl.
Yep.
But play Streets of Rage 2, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and Sonic 2.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts you to say that, doesn't it?
Yeah, so much. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker is not great.
I do you wait.
I'm sorry, it's not great. You cannot put it alongside Streets of Rage 2, man. Oh my days. Game Boy.
Game Boy. Go on then. Hit me
Right.
with your best.
Am I going first?
Yes.
This, not only is this the best Game Boy game, this is up there as one of the best games ever. Right?
Tetris.
No. It's on my thing though.
Really?
It's in my honorable mentions. Tetris is Tetris, isn't it? It's iconic.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I never owned Tetris on the Game Boy.
It came with every Game Boy.
Not with mine. They obviously didn't release it in Wales, did they? Come on.
It's because there's no word for Tetris.
Exactly. But what I did have on my Game Boy was Donkey Kong.
I've got that down as well.
That is amazing. Phenomenal game.
It is amazing. Yeah.
Me and my cousin were glued to it when we were kids. Every holiday we would start a new save and we would finish it before the holiday ended.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a good challenge. It was hard, especially if you're a kid. It's a hard game the further you get. But it's never too hard to the point where you don't feel like you can win.
The best thing about it as well, it had saves. It would save.
Yeah.
You got like.
And that was mental.
Yeah. Yeah. If you finished an area and got to the next area, it would save. So if you died, you go back to the start of the area you're in.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself would just, that definitely helped to elevate the game. Because I can't imagine dying and then having to go all the way back to World War One and doing it all again in one run. It'd be impossible. Well, it wouldn't be impossible, but it'd be hard.
Oh god!
So no, I do agree with Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong definitely is in it's in my note here.
Fact.
Go on, hit me with a fat fact.
It's actually not that good a fact. This is the only fact I found on this game, by the way. This was the first Game Boy title designed with enhanced features when played on the Super Game Boy for the SNES. Playing this way added a set value of colours and a background that looked like the Donkey Kong arcade cabinet.
It did.
That's cool.
Because I played it on that. Yep.
There you go. That's cool.
There you go. That is cool. Actually.
That was the only fact I found in this game. Awesome game.
I like the fact that it is an awesome game. I just love the fact that they take the arcade, the first 4 levels of the arcade.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and you played it and you get to like level 4 and you think, I've done it. That's great. And then all of a sudden,
it turns on its head,
you've got fucking loads of game levels to do. And you're just like, holy shit.
I think I might have to stream that. I'll just fap over it.
No, I know. I would join you as well. It's like your first 4 levels are just like one screen. You know what I mean? And then when you get past that,
it's
and you get
OG Donkey
levels,
Kong, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and you've got but it's sprawling levels as well. You know what I mean? It's like your screen goes backwards and forwards, and it's
such an impressive game for a handheld console as well.
Yeah,
because that could easily have come out on the NES or something, and that would have been heralded as like.
I don't think it would have looked as good.
No,
on the NES. I think Game Boy was where that needed to be. Definitely.
Well, it worked out. It worked out. Go on then.
Kirby.
Ooh,
it's not my best game, but it's Kirby is also a game. Yeah, I mean it's not. I'm not gonna say it's a remake, but it's kind of a remake of the Kirby that was on the NES, essentially. Kirby's Dream Land. I borrowed my best mate's Game Boy, and that probably like every other weekend. And I would sit in the back of the car, like when we get like a Chinese on a Friday night, and I would sit. And it's like kids nowadays don't have that that thing where you're playing a Game Boy in the back of a car and you've got to wait for street lights to come. Yeah. So you can just do the bit.
I don't miss those days.
Oh my god, your kids haven't lived until they have to do it. Yeah. Trying to just get the right amount of light so you can see the screen.
Only a child of like the 80s and 90s will know that feeling of. This is how we used to play games.
Yeah. So that, but for me, best game on the Game Boy, Pokemon Crystal.
Ooh.
Pokemon Crystal, my favorite Pokemon game.
Ooh.
There you go. I was 1 minute an hour in about putting Pokemon Red because I do love Pokemon Crystals. Like it's 1,000 times better than Pokemon Red.
Okay.
Red and blue. So, fun fact though.
Oh.
Here we go. Yeah. So I sold my SNES.
Yeah.
And all my games.
Yeah.
And my Super Scope. I don't know why I'm doing that, but the
Super Duper Scope.
Super Duper Scope. Yeah. I went to what wasn't called Forbidden Planet at the time. It was something else. I can't remember what it was before. The one in Stoke. and I sold all of that for a Game Boy and Pokemon Red. And it was the best decision I ever made because I loved Pokemon Red. I put so many hours in Pokemon Red. I think more hours than what Flynn's been alive.
Probably. I would
and he's
believe
5,
that.
so there you go. Honestly, God,
I would believe that.
Yeah. And you know what? One thing I do regret is that I got an old manky see-through Game Boy, and the guy was like, "Look, if you can give me an extra $5, you can get a brand new." Is it Game Boy Pocket with a backlit screen and everything like that.
Okay.
I was just like, nope. And my best friend at the time was like, look, I'll lend you $5 to get it. And I was like too prideful. Like, no, I do not want your money, sir. I wish I took his money. I wish I took his money.
I was gonna say.
I really do. Oh, but yeah, so that's a fun fact. And I went home, and my mum and dad were like, "Where's your computer?" And I went, "Oh, I've sold it. I've got this now." And I had absolutely beaten pillar to post. Oh God, yeah. So, Pokemon Crystal is the best game on the Game Boy. It's everything red and blue plus more.
Yeah, before I remembered about Donkey Kong, Pokemon Blue and Yellow was my pick because they were the ones I had Blue and Yellow.
Yeah.
And I
you can't mention Game Boy and not put Pokemon.
I think everyone of our age, our generation, played Pokemon. If they claim they didn't, then you're a liar because everyone played Pokemon back then.
Yeah.
So I probably put in a stupid amount of hours on Pokemon. Because the handy thing about the Game Boy is you could just play it on the go. You could play it wherever.
Anyway you want. I know.
It was just it was so good, so convenient, and Pokemon was so amazing.
It was amazing.
But I probably did put more into Donkey Kong. I've got more fond memories of Donkey Kong. So personally,
that's fair. What about your worst?
My worst, I couldn't think of anything for the Game Boy. Turok was pretty pish, but I still enjoyed it. It's alright. It's not great. You can't expect much now.
So like the NES, every other game that wasn't a main Nintendo game was the worst game.
Were pish,
In my opinion. Yeah. But any game that wasn't a main Nintendo line game was absolutely horrendous and horrible.
Yeah, I had a few games, but I can't remember anyone that I actually actively disliked. Even
I don't remember having any other games that were a main Nintendo game for the Game Boy. Just for that sole fact of I just at that point I was buying the games, and I kind of made that conscious decision, that most games were bad, so I'm not going to waste my money because I only had. It was like 13 or whatever, so I only had a paper on.
Yeah, and the thing is, back then you didn't have Google and the internet and stuff to tell you, or you
didn't
have other people's opinions.
Magazines.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and they were getting paid to say the game's okay. Do you know what I mean? Even if they say the game's okay, it's probably really bad.
Yeah, it's probably shite.
So
But probably the worst that I've played. And again, this goes down to, I think a lot down to disappointment. I don't know why I had expectations for it, but I had Duke Nukem Advance because I like Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem 3D.
Yeah, I love Duke Nukem as well. Yeah, we do.
So me being a young lad thought Duke Nukem on the Game Boy Advance, happy days. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I mean, fair play. They try and sort of make a bit of an original story out of it. But it just doesn't work. It's shocking. Bless them, they tried.
The one for me, Mortal Kombat. How can you have a game? Mortal Kombat, you've got a game with 4 buttons. The Game Boy's got 2. How would you make that work? You don't. That's why it's so bad. Yeah, that's why it's so bad.
But it would sell, that's the thing. It can be a piece of crap and people would still buy it. Like mugs like me that bought Duke Nukem Advance thinking it would be like Duke Nukem 3D.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I need to wet my whistle because, talking video games with you so much. Oh my God, look at the fucking
It's like dehydration.
I made a right bloody mess of this. Do you want a flake in that, love?
Holy tits!
I know. Oh, do you know what? It's
You're
fine.
making me want to drink now, but I'm dying.
Get a drink.
I might have a whiskey
Get
after.
a drink. Right, there we go.
I'll
I mean, I'm
have a
only drinking
whiskey.
Foster's. So,
Foster's.
We bought all our Christmas drink on Sunday when we did the big Christmas Christmas shop, and we drank it all by Monday night.
Nice.
So,
I'd be disappointed in you if you didn't.
We've not got a problem.
No way, Mum.
No.
How's it a problem if you're enjoying yourselves?
Steph's like thumbing it off like
Yeah.
that.
Because it's not a problem. If you're enjoying
No,
yourselves,
exactly,
how's it a
yeah.
problem? Okay.
Right, okay.
So you
We're doing
picked,
N64 or PlayStation?
N64. I
Okay,
think.
then.
Yeah, we'll stick with the
Probably.
N64. It's just the order that I did it, so.
That's fine. We'll do it.
So you said Pokemon Crystal. I said Donkey
Mhm.
Kong. Go play those games for the Game Boy. They're
Mhm.
super good.
Yep.
Worst games are the worst. Don't bother listening to it. Just don't play them.
Yeah.
Nintendo 64.
64!
I remember getting this as a
Mhm.
Christmas present.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the life of me, I don't know why my family did this, but I received a video game from my nana, my nan's mum at the time. There's no way she purchased...
Your nan's mum?
My nan's mum, my nana.
So your great gran?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
There is no way she purchased this game for me, but I think it was just, they just put her name on the
I know you want
box
it.
to
Yeah.
make it like, oh, your nana
Yeah,
got this
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
And this is what turns out to be probably my favourite video game for the Nintendo 64.
What
I think you're gonna put GoldenEye, so I didn't put GoldenEye, and I put more. I've definitely put more time into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Duke Nukem 64. Me and my cousin would
Mm-hmm.
literally spend every minute of the weekend, because obviously we'd be in school Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And then me and my cousin would either be at my house, at at my uncle's house, his dad's house, or at my nan's house. And wherever we went, there would be a games console. And when it was the Nintendo 64 era, we would be playing Duke Nukem 64 co-op all day long, all night long. We loved it.
It's not that great a game, though, is it?
I loved it.
64. The sequel was better, wasn't it? 0 Hour.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's that third person trash.
Yeah, but you could change it to first person. I'm sure you could change it to first person. But you went to like the Western and stuff, and Duke Nukem was in like a wee Western with Ashley's chat.
No.
I'm sure I preferred the sequel.
No.
I'm sure I did.
I get if anyone says Duke Nukem 3D because there was boobies and stuff in it. Obviously, because this was
on a Nintendo 64 game.
No. Duke Nukem 3D. This Duke Nukem 64 was the the Nintendo 64 port of this where they made it family friendly. Right, I think it's a mention. Oh no, it's not in one of my things.
You got fat facts.
I do have a fat fact, but like one of the facts that I've not put down, I just remember seeing it, was like they changed, like in Duke Nukem 3D you would go into like a pawn shop in like the second level or something. But on 64 they changed it to a comic shop, so it's little tweaks to make it family friendly. Because you can, when in Duke Nukem 3D in the second level, the red light district, it's not called the red light district in 64. I can't remember what it's called, but in
the district.
Yeah, the district.
The district.
And there's a strip club that you go to it, and then you can tip the dancers, and they'll show you the boobies.
I remember when they do they open up the thing.
Pixel boobies on display. When you're a kid, that's like, whoa, boobs.
I'd sit there and just tip and tip.
Duke's got money for days.
But so have I.
On the Nintendo 64, it's is it like a pub or like a gun shop or something like that? And then the strip club area is just like a garage bit or something. And I think there's still just randomly women dancing there. When he tips them, they just keep dancing. They don't like handle it or anything.
Yeah.
So it's just little things like that. But like when you're a kid, I don't care about the explicitness and the boobies and stuff. It was just a really fun game, and me and my cousin.
It's the fact that you could do co-op with your cousin.
The co-op was the big thing. Yeah, we loved it, and it was at the time it was a pretty solid first-person shooter. It was a fun shooter game. And it's quite a long game. There's about 30 odd levels in it, I think. Not including secret levels. It also had a deathmatch thing, local multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just have a big fondness for Duke Nukem 64 as like superior as GoldenEye actually is. I just have more of a fondness for Duke Nukem.
I mean, GoldenEye was my 5th.
Whoa!
When I was thinking what the best games are, it was my 5th one I wrote down.
F-Zero X.
No, should put that on there because I do bloody.
It's in my honorable mentions.
GoldenEye. Do you remember when you came up and we played it?
Yeah, I was trash.
You and Fraser.
I'm trash at F-Zero. I'm awful.
The two of you were just like, God, I'm like, put your head. You guys
I don't know what I'm doing, but it's a fun game.
It's a fucking fun game. It's such a good game, actually. F-Zero X. I do.
To be honest, there's probably a lot more honorable mentions I can mention. The only other one I've got is Doom 64, which is actually a really solid entry in the Doom franchise.
Never played it. I've got it on the Switch, but never played it.
It's a nice little remaster.
I actually want to finish like the 1, 2, and 3 first before I get to it, but I can't get fucking past this one level.
Oh, avoid 3. 3's good, but
is it?
Play 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are the superior Doom games.
Okay. Right, you ready?
Yes.
Star Fox 64.
Okay. Never
my
played
favorite game. On it.
Add it to the list.
Add it to your list. I think the thing is now that you have to be a fan of the original Star Fox. On the SNES. Which again, it should really be an honorable mention, and that's probably got one of the best songs of any video game ever on the SNES. But yeah, Star Fox 64, Lilac Wars, definitely my favorite game. Easily, probably the most hours spent on my N64 was that. Just pumping in hours and hours and hours. It's such a good game, actually. It's such a good game.
You want to play it now, don't you?
I do. I really want to play it now. Sorry, Steph. You're not watching Top Gun anymore. So there's that. I mean, it's essentially just a retelling of the SNES game, but now that it's in proper 3D polygons, and it looks amazing. It looks beautiful, and it plays like a dream. It really does play like a dream. So, that's me.
Are you saying it's better than Superman 64?
No comment. Superman 64 is actually my number 6 on the list.
What?
What? I should have said 4 before GoldenEye.
I know,
yeah. So there's that. Corner of Time. The only recently knocked off is the greatest game of all time by Breath of the Wild. I mean, I've been playing that through with Flynn.
No comment.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I've been playing that.
In all fairness, I have tried with Zelda. I have tried and tried with Zelda. I can't.
How? Why?
I don't know. It's just boring.
It's not boring. It's not boring. Do you struggle with the dungeons? Is that what it is? You're just not smart enough to figure the dungeons out?
No, I've never got stuck in the Zelda game.
Because that's the thing. That's the thing
bored.
With how what there's no.
I can't help in this day and age, but think, there's a better game I can play now. I can go and because I'm playing Elden Ring again at the minute. If I start playing Zelda, and I get sort of a bit. I'll just go, I can crack on with Elden Ring now. And then I'll turn it off and I'll never go back to it again.
Right, okay.
But I'm just not a Zelda guy.
I think it's a battle that I'll never win with you because
Probably.
I think
honestly,
you're missing out.
I've tried. The closest I came to enjoying one was Wind Waker. That was the closest I came.
I did like Wind Waker, but
also
at the same time, I didn't like it as well.
I love the cell big parts.
I thought the art style was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Still holds up today, to be fair.
Well, they remastered it as well, didn't they, for the Wii U, which I bought as well. Yeah, and it does look nice in HD. But the thing is, there's large portions of that where you're sailing
Yeah.
and
Good.
doing nothing.
Yeah, I can get a bit
And
boring.
that's the only thing with that game. I've got Smash Brothers. 'Cause it's Smash
Okay.
Brothers. I
Hmm.
love Smash
I
Brothers.
never really played the 64 one, to be honest.
I think we played it when you were up here.
We probably
you
did, yeah.
right.
Oh, I'm total
Um,
shite on Smash Brothers. I mean, you saw me on the Switch one, Jesus. I managed to unlock everyone though. I was proud of myself.
Yeah, I mean we should play that again. Actually,
I know, yeah. God,
multiplayer.
I'll be shite.
I'll be shy though because I've not played it since it
Well,
came out.
there was a big issue with the multiplayer though. We could never play with more than just the two of us, could we?
No, that's saying you can't get random people
It's
in online.
stupid.
Yeah, it is daft.
How can you not just party up and then go all out and just fight everyone?
I know. I know.
Even if it was bots, they don't even let you fight bots.
It's Nintendo though, isn't it? Nintendo Online. It's just it's daft. Then obviously GoldenEye was number 5, but number 4, No Mercy.
Yeah, I was gonna say No Mercy had to be on there for you.
It's got to be on there, hasn't it? It's the greatest wrestling game of all time. No, don't you even dare me.
I just didn't. I didn't have it on my 64. I played it afterwards through emulators.
Yeah. Oh, no,
I grew up with different wrestling games, and
I know. Shakedown, Here Comes the Pain.
Whoa! No, SmackDown 1 and 2. Here Comes the Pain is a phenomenal wrestling game, though.
I know. Do you know what? It's
Out
the
of
best
all of them,
I've never played it. Yeah,
that is
I've
the
never
best
played
one.
it though.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
I know. I should actually play it.
It was the first. It was the first one where WWE had Goldberg, so it's quite cool.
Ooh, do you know what we should do? Stick it on the old retro box. You can play PlayStation games.
Yeah, I've not managed to.
The world.
I've not managed to get PlayStation 2 emulators working.
Oh, is it PlayStation 2? All right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think
it does do it. It's just for some reason
we'll figure it out.
It wouldn't
do
work.
it. We'll be tag champs on that. Okay, that's fine.
Because I wanted to play Silent Hill 2, but I just couldn't get it on there. So.
So they're my best. Star Fox 64, Corner of Time, Smash, No Mercy, GoldenEye.
Nice. GoldenEye, yes. F-Zero.
Yes.
Doom 64.
F-Zero X.
And Duke Nukem 64.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one last fact.
Well then, wiki.
Which is it's just a super obvious one if you know. The box art for Duke Nukem 3D was inspired by the movie poster for.
I can't even remember what the box art looks like.
Army of Darkness. Evil Dead 3.
It does. Yes, it does.
Man.
We're studying. Yeah.
What a film!
What a film!
I love Army of Darkness.
Yeah. No, I know.
And
there's my boomstick. Sorry.
Yeah, it's amazing. Go watch Army of Darkness. Sod your Christmas films. I know this is Crimbo edition. Go watch Army of Darkness.
With Die Hard Christmas film, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
it's
thank you.
It's arguably the greatest Christmas film next to Trading Places.
Die Hard 2 Christmas film, yes or no? Yes. It's Christmas. Yeah, I know.
If a film's set around Christmas, it's a Christmas film.
Exactly. There we go. Even though it came out in June.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a Christmas film.
Right, worst games. On you go.
I've just put Superman 64 because come on,
it's the worst game.
It's trash.
Yeah, it is.
Some poor buggers had to pay money for that. I was lucky I didn't.
Yeah. Mine is Extreme G.
Extreme G Sport,
which is like it's a futuristic racing game.
Ooh.
It is the only time I have ever had gamer rage where I have smashed something.
Okay.
I'd got a pad from Forbidden Planet. It's a second player pad, and it was. I want to say it was like a Stingray. Well, you know, like the N64 pad, you've got like your 3 prongs, haven't you?
Yeah.
Whereas this got rid of the 2 prongs on the outside, so you only had the middle prong.
Right.
And then you're holding the pad, and it made it feel like a sort of like NES Mega Drive-y style sort of thing.
Okay.
And it was cheap pad, you know what I mean, that sort of thing. And so I was playing Extreme G and losing, and I literally just got the pad and just went snatch right into the wall, and the thing just fucking boosh exploded.
Oh no!
And obviously, like I'm a young teenager, and I'm like, oh shit, I broke the pad. I only had it probably about a week, 2 weeks the most. I took it back to the shop. It was
What did you
like,
sell me this for?
well, this pad's broke. And the guy looked at it and went, "What have you done?" And I was like, "I was just gripping it really hard and it's just smashed." And the guy was like, "I just want my refund." And the guy, I didn't know anything about my consumer rights or anything like that. And the guy just looked at me and went, "I can't give you anything for this." And I was like, "I'll just go to the papers and tell you sold me defect that you." And he was just like, "Right, do you know what? Give me 10 quid. Have an official Nintendo pad. There you go." And off. You know what I mean? So I ended up coming home with like an official red one. And you know what? I've still got that pad today, and I think it's my favorite pad of all time.
Nice.
Just me and my red N64 pad. That's it. Just
Oh,
brothers
God.
in arms sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like the Nintendo 64. It had the stupidest pad design. It is stupid, but I love it.
See, at the time, if you think about it, it was forward thinking because they knew that the 3D was coming, and they knew that they could do it. But I mean, PlayStation had to make a second pad for the PlayStation for the DualShock.
Yeah.
You know, when they brought their console out in the pad, you know, it was a D-pad controlling the 3D space.
Yeah.
It never worked. It was never going to work, and it didn't work. That's why they had to make. Whereas Nintendo were like, this is the way you've got a 3D sort of style analog stick. But what they didn't really think about was like camera. And I know they got the C buttons to move cameras and stuff in most games. But really, it should have had the two sticks. But it's one of them things that hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, because it's the one thing that let Super Mario 64 down is the camera. The camera is your greatest enemy in that game, not Bowser, not anyone else. The camera is shocking in 64 when you play it now. But if they just had that second analog stick and a free camera where you could just... it would be a near flawless game.
Yeah. But I think at the time when they brought it out, they didn't really have that down, did they? So, you know, they kind of pigeonholed themselves into that. But
I still love the
learned.
pad. As daft as it looks now. And you give any... What's this generation called? Gen Z or whatever. You give any kid of this generation that pad, they'll be like, "I've only got two hands. What do I do with this?"
I've not got three hands to hold. But it was such a good thing. It's like if you're doing your 3D games, you're middle and the right, and then if you're doing like platformers or No Mercy, either side. Do you know what I mean? You could hold it whatever ways. And if you're a lefty, you know what I mean.
I had issues as a lefty.
Yeah, but you could hold it the other way and
Well, the problem is my favorite game on the Nintendo 64, Duke Nukem 64. Every time I started the game, I would have to go into the options and I would have to alter the controls to suit lefty. Because the movement controls would be the C buttons. And for me as a lefty, I know it makes me sound odd, but the D-pad's always on the left now. That's the norm. And that's how you move the character to me.
Yeah.
But he was by default set as the C buttons to move, and you use your left hand to control the analog stick to move to turn him.
Yeah.
So it made me out to be the batty one, having to change the controls, but that's the default controls now.
Wasn't there a control scheme on GoldenEye called Lefty? I'm sure it was.
There was some form, but GoldenEye was fine for me. GoldenEye, because it's a completely different movement.
Different way,
scheme, isn't it? I prefer the way GoldenEye does it. I know it's like not like a. Oh well, look, we got a friend. Hold on.
Oh, hello.
Hello, a current Dad of Funk. Hi, Crystal. We're talking about old games. Because we are old men talking about old games. Reminiscing about Nintendo 64.
Pointing in the clouds. Back in my day.
But yeah, basically I was right the whole time. I always changed the control schemes to the actual way that video games
the actual way, Not the left-handed way. Devil child.
Whoa, it's the way it is now. The way I set it out is the way the game's controlled now.
That's true.
Right, we need to move on to the PlayStation.
Right, okay. I'm going to say now that I didn't really have a PlayStation.
I lived on the PlayStation.
I know I think it's I was an N64 boy.
Yeah,
So
that's fair enough.
yeah, I have very minimal PlayStation memories, and yeah, I mean, I bought a PS2 for the Transformers game, that came out on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I never really, I missed the whole PlayStation. I mean, I played PlayStation, but I never had one.
See, to me, that's like it's like sacrilege, because I think that was my favorite period of like the play. I don't want to say the PlayStation was the best console. It isn't, but I think just the games that did come out on that and that I was lucky enough to have growing up are so fun. They're some of the best games ever. I mean, my games that I put down are the best games ever, obviously. According to Dad of Funk's favourite old game is Mega Man 04.
Ooh.
Do you approve, Nicholas?
I'm sure I recently heard on a podcast that like Mega Man 0, 1, and 2 were amazing. And 3 and 4 weren't as good because they were broken.
Inferior.
Not inferior.
So you're saying that she's wrong?
I'm not saying she's wrong.
You're so wrong.
An opinion. But I'm sure 04. Is it 04? I'm gonna have to check on my phone.
I have no idea. I have no idea when it comes to Mega Man.
I mean, I'm never a big Mega Man. I'm not saying I'm not a big Mega Man. We just literally said Mega Man 2 on the NES was amazing.
Well, you did.
I said Mega Man 2 on the NES was amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You did, not we. Man didn't know Mega Man.
I did. Okay, you don't know nothing.
I know nothing about Mega Man. It is the one where the world is ending and each boss is a natural disaster.
X3. There we go. It's the X3 games. I get confused with the Mega Man because there's so many different thingies.
Yeah. I quite like the sound of that, though, where the world's ending and each boss is a natural disaster. That sounds quite cool.
What was that on? That'd actually be quite a thing to play.
There's even a global warming boss, of course.
Mega Man knew before anyone else.
What console did it come out on? Teachers, oh wise one.
I know, yeah. This is what we're here for, to learn. Yeah.
You've not disturbed our PlayStation talk. I was just about to... Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance, right, okay. There was a load actually for Game Boy Advance, remember that? Actually?
Yeah, we need to delve more into... We need to specify Game Boy Advance, because we kind of just stuck to Game Boy earlier.
I mean, yeah, we did. But I mean, to be honest, there's the Game Boy Advance has got probably the most games in any console ever released.
Yeah, I didn't have many Game Boy Advance games though.
I actually had a Game Boy, an R4. It wasn't R4, but it was like a flash card, and I could download the ROMs and put my games on that, and to have like 30, 40 games on it.
Hacks. So top hacker.
I know, I was a hacker in the mid 2000s, downloading all these games. But yeah, that was never actually tried the Mega Man ones on there. So criminal. You've been found. The FBI is going to be looking for you now, bro. Nothing's been changed. I've had ROMs since like 1996 or whatever it was.
Right. Anyway, we've got to go back to PlayStation. We have to end this at some point.
Cool. Yeah.
Right. So PlayStation. Would you like to go first then, since you have less experience with the PlayStation?
So I've got 3 games.
Ooh.
Yeah. Resident Evil.
Of course.
Yeah.
One of the
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's awesome.
Spider-Man.
That had one of the coolest theme songs ever.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I just remember playing.
Obviously, in comparison to the current Spider-Man game that you can play, it is not a patch. Whoa.
PS1 was far better than Spider-Man.
Whoa.
No, sorry, not really. Well, I love Spider-Man. Do you know what I mean? And I'd seen all the side-scrolling ones on this in the SNES and the Mega Drive, and they were all super bloody hard, and they're just generic beat 'em up snap games. And actually being able to do a 3D Spider-Man,
where
you could swing around and climb stuff. That was I was like,
yeah, Spider-Man's got to have the freedom of being able to swing from building to building, and you can't do it on a little side-scrolly. It's not Spider-Man.
No.
Unless
it's
you take his
generic
powers away.
But we'll stick Spider-Man in place. That's what it is. So.
Spider-Man on the PlayStation is really good, though.
And then Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk, yeah.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
See, when you came up to was it last year or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and you brought
With
your,
the mini
your little
PlayStation.
mini PlayStation, and literally like, what do you want to play? And we just played Tony Hawk all night
Yeah.
for like 5 hours.
I mean,
was like, we should probably play something else. And no, we'll just stick with Tony Hawk.
I'd got all those dodgy USB sticks with all the millions of games
criminal.
on them.
Call him criminal.
I'm not criminal. I bought it legally.
But yeah, to me, those three, they're just my favorite PlayStation games.
Who's famous? Michelle Obama says we're famous. With a $sign at the end, that means it's legit. Yeah, Tony Hawk's awesome, and I don't think it would get the appreciation that it deserves nowadays if someone just jumped on it and was like, I wonder what the whole big deal is about this game. I think they
because
find it
Tony Hawk came out in that sort of like skateboarding had a renaissance in that sort of like
the most
late
90s.
early 2000s. It was that is literally that was happening there, and they took, I'm not going to say took advantage, but the lightning struck for them. They went with it, and everyone loved it. Everyone that was into skateboarding, everyone that was into that sort of like, I'm not going to say grunge, but like sort of like rock.
Oh yeah,
sort of
Rage Against the Machine and all
everything.
That.
Yeah, it was just all mixed together, and it just worked. And everyone that had that angst, wanted to play Tony Hawk, to skateboard, to smash through billboards and shit like that, and listen to that music. And it was cool. It was a bloody cool game, and I was jealous. I was jealous that I didn't have a PlayStation. I'd go around my friend's house and we played it. And I was jealous I didn't have it because I wanted to play it more. You know what I mean? So,
more importantly, Michelle's asking, do you like Michelle Obama?
I don't personally know Michelle Obama, but I mean, if she wants to, say hi, I'm welcome to say hi. Come to Scotland. There you go.
As it happens, she's going to be the special guest next week on the Mortal Kombat episode of Retro Gap
No
Attack.
way. Yeah. Is Michelle Obama like a friend? Is she in Mortal Kombat?
I faxed her the other day. Yeah.
Faxed her?
Yeah. She's a big Sub-Zero fan. She loves Sub-Zero.
Oh, that's it. That's it. My kind of girl, because Sub-Zero is the best.
Yeah. So, check Retro Gap Attack out next week for the Mortal Kombat episode.
When Michelle Obama's coming.
Michelle Obama special guest. Yeah, going to talk Mortal Kombat. Anyway.
Here in Barack. I suppose Baraka is Barack Obama's favorite.
There we go, Barack Obama.
There you go, yeah. Barack Obama.
Oh, God. Hey, Mortal Kombat's not been mentioned in any of our things, any of our favourites.
Do you know what, though? They are amazing games, and we'll talk about it next week. But, I mean, they're not. There are other games that are... It's the best fighting games on these consoles. But the fighting genre as a whole isn't probably the best to represent these consoles.
No, yeah. As I sort of said it, I remember I did have Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Sorry for asking, I thought it was a Trump fanatic. Is that you or me? It must be you. You love your Trumps, man.
Yeah, I fucking hate Trump.
You hate Donald Trump?
Bloated, wig-wearing bastard. You redneck.
Anyway, I'm not talking about Donald Trump, so I can't be doing with that. So did you pick a favourite, or have you just named three?
Just them three are that's the best. Yeah, I love playing them three.
Top of the tree PlayStation games. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I agree with you with one of them. Not that I don't agree with you with the others, but Resident Evil.
One of them.
No, but I've got in my notes honorable mentions. Resident Evil is there. Mm-hmm. Again, we got an episode all about Resident Evil.
Go back
and watch that if you want to hear us fap over Resident Evil.
I mean, there's a bloody long. It's a good episode as well, actually.
Oh yeah, and that's only volume 1, baby.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games ever, and this is the beauty of the PlayStation, that 3 of my favorite games ever are on this list. Well, even Resident Evil, 4 of my favorite games ever are in this PlayStation category. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, one of the best games ever.
I know that's one of your favorites. I know. I've never played it.
I've got the poster on my wall there. That's how sad
I know you do. Oh. I know. There's a guy that used to work for my granddad who was big into gaming, and when I used to work in the summer with him, he used to always like say, "Do you want to come round and we'll play?" And he had it on the Dreamcast,
All right, okay.
and he said it was like one of his favorite games of all
It's
time.
it's one of the best games ever made. And like for the longest time, I would always claim it was the best game I'd never finished. Until COVID, lockdown.
He finished it.
I finally finished, so I made myself get through it to the end, and it was just a hard game. It's one of those. It doesn't hold your hand. It doesn't really ever guide you. It could be like a negative about the game that it doesn't give you any waypoints.
Metroid last week.
Yeah, it's one of those. There's no map. There's no waypoints. You'll get like a bit of a cutscene every now and then, and it'll sort of like try and lean you towards an area to go, maybe we should go delve over here and you'll see what happens. But like, because there's no map and things, when they're saying, go to the ruins of Aztecia or whatever it would be, it's like, how am I supposed to remember what places are called when you don't actually... So it's just a hard game in that sense, but like, the music is phenomenal. The game is really fun.
Yeah.
It was the first successful attempt at sort of a Metroidvania 3D style game.
Oh, okay.
And it's just...
I'll give it a shot. It is something I've always wanted to think.
One of the best games ever. And then my last honourable mention, surprise, surprise, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Another lockdown favourite. A phenomenal game. We need to do a whole episode on that one day. But
need to play it.
You need to play it. Honest to God, it's so good. The best game on the PlayStation is Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
That can of worms just popped open then, didn't it?
No. Right. Okay. I remember back in the day. My best mate got his PlayStation chipped. And we...
criminal! Thief!
A criminal, hit me with the criminals again. That's fine. I don't care. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent. You know what I mean? Who's not a criminal from Stoke-on-Trent, really? So my mate got his PlayStation chipped, and Metal Gear Solid had come out, and like my best mate's cousin was like, right, I know a guy who's doing the games, and so but you've got to take your own disc. Yeah. So we walked over into the next estate and knocked on the door, and the guy's like through a chain light, what do you want? And you've got to see, it's like when I want to say what's the password sort of thing, and my mate's like, could you copy? There was a copy of Metal Gear Solid, please. And the guy's like, you got a disc, and like hands him the disc, and and then he's like, give me 15 minutes, and shuts the door, and then we just hang about his house, just outside in the streets, just sitting there, like just like waiting. You know what I mean? And it's like we had no idea how long it took to burn a disc or anything like that.
God, back then it'd have been ages as well.
Yeah. Like 15 minutes turned to half an hour or whatever it was, and then I'm just like, mate, he's just taking your disc. You know what I mean? He's just done it. You know what I mean? And then he comes out. And we go and play. We go back to his house. And we sit down and play. And then he's like, "Do you want to have a go first?" And I'm like, "All right, okay, cool." And I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. We watch the intro, and you come out of the water, and you go up the steps, and it's the first area. And I literally was just like, "Okay, let's just go." Ran. Literally got stung by the first guy, and boom, just dead. And I was just like, "Okay, cool."
It's stealthy, bro.
I didn't know that. It's the first time I ever played it. Do you know what I mean? It was just,
well, that's the thing. If you don't know, everyone would have gone through it. Cause...
I think we played it for about 6 hours, and like got no food. We got to the next area, and we got into the snowbed outside, and we just didn't know what we were doing. We were just like running around, and like you get to see the footprints in the snow, and the guy's like, "What's that?" And you're following you around, and literally you're just running around in a square, and they're just following your footprints behind you, and you're just like,
I love it though.
Yeah.
It is. I think it is kind of like Marmite in a way. I think it's obviously recognised. It is one of the most sort of influential games for the time, like 3D platforming as well. 3D action. adventure.
Right, action adventure, yeah.
Yeah. But obviously I get if some people are like, yeah, it's not for me, it's a bit weird. It's a bit, I don't like the stealthy things. I don't like the... I get that, but like, for what it was, I love it for what it was. And I love that Hideo Kojima is a bit of a weirdo. Because like everything to do with Psycho Mantis and all that, and
that's amazing.
That he reads your
the
memory
thing
card
that's on the back of the box where it's like the codex.
Yeah.
It's
stupid.
That's smart. No, but that's really smart. That's really smart. Like forward thinking.
But it's like the game will tell you if you're stuck. It'll say, "Oh, go read the back of the box," and it'll tell you. But
what would we do that for?
Yeah, all the fourth wall breaky stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
so
really
good.
smart. I mean, I played the Twin Snakes version on the GameCube. That was my first
I
proper.
played it once, maybe.
I generally I bought it on my American GameCube. Spending like I think it was 80 quid at the time to get it, and I thought, I'm going to give this a shot because I couldn't do it on the PlayStation. I'm a couple of years older now, so might be able to do it.
Yeah.
Still couldn't do it. Had to go to school and like print off a GameFAQs thing that was like 50 pages long.
It's still a tough game.
Yeah, that and Resident Evil Remake. Literally, I must have used up all my print credits in high school printing out the guides on how to do what to do in these games like. So no, I do agree with you. Actually, it's amazing.
I mean, obviously, if I was going to pick up and play a PlayStation game, out of all of them, it'd probably be Resident Evil. But I think in terms of what it brought to the table at the time, just everything about it, it is the best PlayStation game, and it's as weird as it is, as much as people probably don't like the mechanics or the stealthiness, it's still the best PlayStation game. Sorry, stick your Final Fantasy 7 or whatever up your ass. It's shite. Metal Gear is good.
That's true. Yeah.
Basically,
I was never a fan of Final Fantasy 7.
I'm not a big turn-based combat kind of guy.
to be honest, I never really played it. Final Fantasy was never my big thing either, to be honest. The JRPGs are pretty extreme, and I think Pokemon's the height of my my RPG playing.
Same, really. Have you got a worst PlayStation game?
Maybe the worst game of all time.
I've got an asterisk next to mine.
Ooh,
and I'll tell you why in a minute.
So again, it's a thing. Because I didn't own one. I don't really have much experience of many games. But Bubsy 3D.
Okay, yeah, I know that's trash. I've never played it, but I know it's trash.
Yeah, I had Bubsy on the SNES, and when my pal was like, "Oh, I've got Bubsy 3D," it's like we knew it was going to be one of the first 3D games to come out. And you can tell when they're developing that Super Mario 64 had come out and just absolutely blew the 3D thing away. And they were just like, "Oh, mate, we're knackered now." It's it's such a bad 3D game.
I know.
Everything's like polygon squares, and it's a horrible mess.
It looks horrible, doesn't it?
And the camera's a mess, and the depth perception's a mess, and it's just a really bad game. And I just remember going around and playing it for probably less than 5 minutes.
That's probably 5 minutes too long.
It's fine, yeah. Because I literally turned around and said to me, "It's like, your parents bought you this game," and he just looked at me and it's like, I've not got the heart to tell them.
They don't love you.
Yeah, just like they don't love your child. You know what I mean? Get them buying Bubsy 3D. So there you go.
Would you like to know what I have down?
What do you have on your worst one?
There is a big asterisk next to this because I do want to play more of it.
Okay.
But it is shocking in a weird way.
Okay.
LSD Dream Simulator. Remember when we played it at yours? What a weird game.
Yes.
It was trash.
It
made no sense.
I don't know what the fuck was going on.
But I want to play more.
Can we stream it?
Can do. It'd be quite funny.
It would be quite funny. All your followers that you game playing Snap would just be like, I'm not fucking watching that
Yeah,
again.
unfollow. But yeah, it was so weird. It was so weird. I think you actually need to be on acid to actually make sense of it.
Well, I mean, it's part of the title, isn't it? I'm surprised they didn't actually give you a bag of it when you bought it
I know,
over the
yeah.
counter. Yeah.
But I think I do need to explore more of it, as trash as it was.
Try, yeah. Yeah, go for it. I'll watch you do it.
I can't actually think of like genuine worst games though. Even though there are loads.
Oh yeah, there is because I think like we've always said that thingy of era of gaming. It was a transition. It's the Atari of the 3D sort of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Atari will in the 80s kind of like did the whole side scrolling. They pushed so much,
Mm.
whereas the PlayStation 64 or the Atari of that era, so like a lot of the games that came out
Rough.
were bad
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's the first foray of people developing these types of games. So yeah, there are tons
Yeah.
of bad games,
Oh,
and
there
they're not
probably is,
necessarily
yeah.
bad. The bad games. It's just that cameras are clunky,
Mm.
walking around clunky. It's just yeah. If they went back and redid it now with a bit of refinement, it probably would actually be a good game. But
Mm.
it's just at the
Yeah.
time it was bad.
And,
So
and that's the thing. I've probably played too many PlayStation games to remember which are the trash ones and which are.
yeah,
Obviously, I
yeah,
remember the good
that's it.
ones, but
Yeah,
like In Cold Blood. Have you ever played In Cold Blood? I remember
I
that
would want
game when
to say yes, but
because my dad knew a guy. My dad knew a
mm-hmm.
guy who we
Oh
had
yeah,
the
you
PlayStation
know.
chipped, and then
Mm-hmm.
my dad would always come back from work with a list. I can get you these games,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he not sold us for money, but he sold us this game
Mm-hmm.
called In Cold Blood, saying it's similar to Resident Evil. So we were like,
Mm-hmm.
because we love Resident Evil, we were like, oh, we'll try it. Yeah, we'll try it. They
Yeah.
also said the same about Alone in the Dark, A New Nightmare. Whoa,
Uh-huh.
that's pretty
Oh,
pish PlayStation
yeah,
game.
yeah.
This is as good as Resident Evil. No, it's not. It's shit.
There's not.
In Cold Blood was the same. Tank controls, 3D.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just it was shite.
Yeah.
It was like an actual shit Metal Gear Solid, but with tank controls. It was
Uh,
stupid. Um, that's one that I just never enjoyed. There's probably like, I was never a fan of going back to like your Final Fantasy style games. I was
mhm.
never into Command and Conquer. I had a demo of
No.
that.
Yeah.
Again, I think if you
Yeah.
had PC and if you're into those games, fair enough. Not on the
Mhm.
PlayStation. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of trash. Just avoid the
There
trash.
is.
Play the good
There
games.
is. There is. And yeah, yeah. It's one of the things at the time we didn't have. Well, round about then we started getting the internet, so you could kind of make you could see other people's opinions and stuff of the games.
Mm.
Whereas like your actual like your SNES and like you were going off like magazines and like there was Games Master on Channel 4
Yeah.
and they had reviews of games. But like like I've been watching through the old Games Master episodes and the review sections are literally like 2 minutes.
Oh,
It's a 2 minute segment, and they go through 3 games that they review. So
yeah.
you can imagine the thingy of the review. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, this game's dead good. Like, blah, 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 blah. I'll give it 98, and then they're on to another game. Do you know what I mean? It's like this.
Yeah,
So there
they're
wasn't a
not
lot that
properly
you could really.
explaining why they're giving it that score.
No, and obviously at that point, we were kids, so our parents were buying games for us, and they didn't. They're not going to watch Games Master or read
No,
games magazines
no.
to see what games are. They'll just say, oh, they'll look at the cover and be like, oh yeah, this looks like nice. It's got a bunny rabbit on. We'll just get that. And that's their way of thinking. Do you know what I mean? They didn't think so. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, that was
on that note,
I know.
that's the Crimbo edition done. We've just told everyone all the best old games to go and play.
And the worst ones to
And the worst ones to, if you want to play and
play.
torture yourself, go for it.
go for
But
it.
yeah,
I mean,
just play-
obviously, everything's in our own opinion. So
Yeah.
we they're not the best. They're the best to us. But I
Mm.
mean, you might not find it the best. But who cares? Go play games.
go
If
play
you want to
games.
play games that we've said, go do it. Have some fun. If you don't like it, let us know. I mean, but we're not going to care.
Not really.
Not really. So
I couldn't care less.
there you
But
go.
I do want a list of like supposed worst games, and I want to play them, and I'll stream them and give my
If
honest
you've got
verdict.
Any suggestions, anyone? You know where to find him?
Here.
Not there on the screen, like all the social medias.
Here. Oh, I need to go and rest now. I'm not coming back until the lurgy's gone.
You better have the lurgy free by next Thursday.
I should be. Mortal Kombat, baby. Cheers, bro. Thanks, people, for the retro gap
Merry
attack.
Christmas, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Santa empties his sack on you and you get everything you want.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.